classroom is like a greenhouse. What holds the greenhouse together? Much like all sturdy places, a base or frame is needed to support and keep everything together. A classroom is held together with a frame as well. Bloomsburg University's conceptual framework helps guide pre-service teachers into their future classrooms and support these future classrooms by providing teachers with an integrated vision for teaching, learning, professionalism, and educator preparation. This framework also guides planning, development, and implementation of programs and ensures connections between coursework, field experience, student teaching, and unit-wide assessment practices. Through planning coherent practice and pedagogy, creating inclusive environments conducive to optimal learning, ensuring effective instruction and assessment, and exhibiting professionalism, Bloomsburg University develops effective educators that will be able to apply their knowledge, skills, and dispositions into their future classrooms. A teacher is like a gardener. Who better to implement all of the beliefs of the greenhouse than a gardener? Just as a gardener is responsible for what goes on inside a greenhouse, a teacher must do the same in his or her classroom. A gardener plants seeds, gives them proper nourishment, and supports them along the way until each grows into a breathtaking flower that can be planted out into the world. A teacher educates his or her students in the ways that provide each with the appropriate amount of support until they are ready to leave the classroom and venture out into the world where they will continue to grow as individuals. Should a gardener neglect their greenhouse, the flowers will not only suffer, but will take with them their poorly treated petals and stems to wherever they are planted next. A teacher who neglects his or her classroom will too see their students suffer and drag along with them negative attitudes and damaged spirits into their next classroom. Qualities of an effective teacher. An effective gardener has a variety of tools and knows when and how to use each one. A teacher must also know and understand how to integrate a wide variety of instructional methods and strategies. An effective teacher explains clearly, is well prepared, makes difficult topics easy to understand, uses examples, details, analogies, metaphors, and a variety of modes of explanation to make material not only understandable but memorable, establishes a context for material, is an energetic, dynamic person, seems to enjoy teaching, conveys a love of the field, and has an aura of self-confidence. A teacher is kind, caring, competent, and committed. Students are like flowers. All flowers are unique and have a place to grow in a greenhouse no matter the size, shape, color, or needs. A gardener contains a large group of plants, and if one flower is planted off to the side, away from all the other flowers, the whole concept of the garden is lost. Every student has a place in the classroom, regardless of their size, color, or need, and it is the teacher's job to instill collaboration and create and maintain an environment where all students are treated equally and feel like they belong in the classroom. Each flower needs special care. Just as each flower needs special attention and care to ensure progress and growth, students have needs to be met in order for them to succeed. Bloom's taxonomy's Learning in Action Rose explains a way of thinking about how to get students to think from simple to complex. Knowledge, memorization, comprehension, understanding, application, using, analysis, taking apart, synthesis, putting together, and evaluation, judging, all make up equal petals of a developing flower. A teacher needs to understand how to adjust questions. During whole group instruction, the teacher needs to ask questions from different levels of Bloom's taxonomy to make sure everyone can participate and feel comfortable, yet be challenged and work on bridging to higher order thinking as well. Flowers with exceptionalities. A flower may enter a greenhouse with missing leaves, broken stems, or wilted petals. On the other hand, gardeners are given seeds that will grow into flowers anywhere, anyway, with any type of attention. A good gardener is equipped with the proper tools and support tape and rods to help any flower grow. The gardener knows when these flowers no longer need the supports and can remove them to allow the flower to be as independent as possible. In a classroom, a teacher is blessed with students from all walks of life and any number of children with a variety of possible disabilities or exceptionalities. Teachers can provide a warm, welcoming environment with an instructional toolbox full of research-based methods of instruction to help each and every student learn and grow. Scaffolding can be provided to students until they are ready to master a concept on their own. Also, for gifted or talented students, a teacher is prepared to provide respectful challenges and opportunities to keep all students engaged. Students come into classrooms with a variety of prior educational experiences, interests, motivators, readiness levels, personal experiences, and learning styles. A teacher has 3 ways to differentiate instruction: content, what is being taught; process, activities and projects; and product, showing what a student knows. Just as a gardener must decide what to give each flower, which tools to use, when and how to group flowers to help each grow to its maximum capacity, a teacher needs to understand how to balance the different needs of students in his or her classroom and integrate a multitude of differentiation strategies. Some of these instructional and management strategies include showing students why they will be doing the activities they are completing, and explaining that even though all students are not doing the same thing, it does not mean that it isn't fair. Fair does not mean that everybody does the same thing all the time. Anchoring activities are tasks or a series of tasks that students automatically move to when they have completed the initial assignment and should be implemented to reduce the amount of downtime in a classroom. These activities are used to keep students constantly engaged with educational, meaningful work at the student's readiness level and helps reduce disruption that occurs when a student finishes an activity early. Tiered assignments are the meat and potatoes of a differentiated classroom and focus on teaching the essential understanding of an activity or the main concept that a teacher wants the student to walk away with. Different levels of complexity provide students with information at appropriate ability levels and allow students to take more responsibility for their own learning. No matter where a flower is from, everyone will be treated equal, feel like they blend together, and have a sense of belonging. Like flowers, who are brought into a greenhouse from all over the globe, students come from all over the world and enter a classroom bringing their cultural background with them. Each student's culture needs to be nurtured. Diversity should be celebrated. All students should feel comfortable and welcomed in a classroom regardless of where they are from. How to grade a flower's progress and growth. A gardener measures pots and arranges flowers and plants them in several different ways before deciding the best way to let them shine before sending them out into the greenhouse. A teacher must also go through the process of finding the best way to grade a student's progress and achievement. Averaging falls short of providing an accurate description of what students have learned. If the purpose of grading and reporting is to provide an accurate description of what they've learned, then averaging must be considered inadequate and inappropriate. Grades based on averaging have meaning only when averaging is done on repeated measures of similar content. Grading by the median provides more opportunities for success by diminishing the impact of a few stumbles and by rewarding hard work, like consistency and/or improvement. Reports on student progress and achievement should contain information that indicates academic progress and achievement for each course or subject area, separate from punctuality, attitude, behavior, effort, attendance, and work habits. By offering separate grades for different aspects of performance, educators can better provide a far more useful than single grades, and they include the achievement and behaviors. Grades should be consistent, meaningful, and accurate. The primary purpose of classroom assessment is to inform teaching and improve learning, not to sort and select students or to justify a grade. Grades should come from a body of evidence, performance, and guideline standards. A teacher should use his or her professional judgment. To be truly standards-based in grading, one must separate achievement from behaviors, not include formative assessments, and emphasize more recent achievement. There are no right grades, there are only justifiable grades. A gardener watches her flowers every day and makes adjustments to her care if needed to help them grow to their full potential. Formative assessments are designed to provide direction for improvement and/or adjustment to instruction for individual students or for a whole class. Observation, quizzes, homework, instructional questions, initial drafts, and attempts are all examples. Observations allow a teacher to see a child's emerging print concept understanding, vocabulary, letter identification, word reading, and hearing and recording sounds and words. Students should be assessed or checked on everything or almost everything they do, but everything that is assessed and/or checked does not need a score, and every score should not be included in the grade. Gardeners use a variety of tools and methods of assessing in order to measure the total growth of their flowers. Teachers Two, incorporate many different forms of assessment to gain an understanding of what their teachers know. Summative assessments are designed to provide information to be used in making judgment about a student's achievement at the end of the sequence of instruction. For example, final drafts or attempts, tests, exams, assignments, projects, and performance-based exams. Every flower must one day leave the greenhouse, and the gardener must let them go. Teachers must also send his or her students on their way. Each student will forever keep and spread the knowledge gained throughout their stay in the classroom and take it with them, wherever life may lead them.